I always get a little more excited when we get to make a Star Wars update video on this channel. Welcome to Chaos Cinema, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today, we are diving back into Star Wars Starfighter. We have new leaks, new rumors, new acting confirmations. We know who the villain or villains are going to be. We also know that they say this is going to push past the Skywalker saga. We're going to talk about all that, the plot, the characters, how this might tie into the other news that we're making a video on in the next day or two about Daisy Ridley's basically new Star Wars universe and how it's all supposed to be interconnected into this big like MCU style format. We'll see. I don't know. I have opinions on that, but drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Remember, I read every single comment on every single video. Now, let's go over all the new latest news for Star Wars Starfighter. Okay, let's start off with what's officially confirmed. The stuff from solid sources. You have Deadline, people like that. Cast and crew. The film is being directed, we know, by Sean Levy. I mean, you might know him from Deadpool 3, Stranger Things, and it's being written by his frequent collaborator, Jonathan Tropper. Now, the star of Starfighter is, of course, Ryan Gosling, and he is being joined by horror maven Mia Goth, which we already knew, and that's a really good casting. And now we know former Doctor Who himself, Matt Smith. Yep, you heard right. Gosling is in a galaxy with Mia Goth and Matt Smith. This is going to be interesting. According to Deadline's report, Matt Smith will play the villain in this movie opposite co-stars Gosling and Goth. And here's a fun fact for you if you didn't know. Matt Smith was actually rumored to have a role in episode 9. It just never came to fruition. He even hinted it was a pretty groovy role. That's what he said, and it got cut. I mean, there were rumors he might have been a Palpatine clone. Who knows? But it's kind of cool and ironic that he's getting a second chance to come back into the Star Wars universe. Now, you may also know him from House of Dragons. He is a really good actor with a lot of range. So, what happens here? Do we take Goth and Smith, and that's our Sith duo? Which one's the apprentice? Which one's the master? We'll have to wait and see. Or are they going to spin it on its head, and somehow Mia Goth is going to be a protagonist? We'll have to wait and see, but we do know that Matt Smith is going to be a primary villain. So, where does Starfighter take place? Well, Lucasfilm revealed at the celebration that it's 5 years after the events of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So, we're going to move beyond the Skywalker saga timeline, at least right now, into new territory. We are supposedly going to have a clear-cut standalone adventure. Not a direct prequel, not a sequel to any previous film. We're getting all new characters, a new story, and a period of Star Wars timeline that hasn't been explored on screen yet. In fact, Lucasfilm officially dubbed the post-Episode 9 era the New Jedi Order, which also gives way to Daisy Ridley's New Jedi Order movie, which, once again, we'll talk about in that other video. So, what's the tone here? We assume it's going to focus on fighter pilots or space combat. We don't know yet, but a standalone Star Wars adventure set in the Skywalker saga? We'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, right? The release date and production, well, it's already scheduled. May 28th, 2027. That's the theatrical release. It's slotted for a year after The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is set for 2026. So they're going to space these out. Now, filming is expected to begin in fall of 2025, which is right around the corner. And in true Star Wars fashion, they will be shooting in the UK. So there's that. And it's right there. I mean, the hype train, it's there too. Recent months, casting has ramped up. We know 3 official ones, and they're all good. I mean, once again, director, Sean Levy, Free Guy, Deadpool, Jonathan Tropper worked with Levy on Real Steel. Timeline, 5 years after the Skywalker saga. The story, standalone film, gonna be an uncle with his nephew. That's kind of what we're going for here. We'll wait and see. I mean, we don't know if Mia or Matt is going to be the main villain or vice versa. We'll see how that goes. But now let's talk about the fun part, which we do. The rumors and the theories. Keep in mind, these aren't officially confirmed, but they are coming from fairly reputable outlets and insiders, so there is some weight. The biggest leaked story so far is the basic plot setup. It's got a bit of that lone wolf and cub vibe, according to a Hollywood Reporter piece on the casting. Starfighter will involve Ryan Gosling's character protecting his young nephew from evil pursuers. Yeah. Yep. Leading man is going to play a protective uncle in this. Unc. The report says Gosling's character has a nephew who's in danger. He's on the run, and he's trying to keep the kid safe from some really bad people. And guess who is said to be one of those pursuers? Well, Mia Goth's character, meaning Mia Goth probably will be playing a villain chasing this kid. It was actually reported back in June when Mia was cast, and it was implied she was a villain. And now with Matt Smith on board, I think we're going to have multiple villains here, and I think we're going to have the whole Sith dynamic. I really do. They're also projecting Matt to play the lead villain. I don't know, Mastermind, Big Threat, Sith Lord, who knows? It's going to be interesting to see how they do this. Now, the plot leak about protecting the kid, it set off a lot of speculation. Why would villains be hunting this child so relentlessly? Well, the obvious theory is that his nephew is Force sensitive, maybe even a future Jedi. Makes a lot of sense. If the kid has strong Force abilities, I mean, he's going to be important to the bigger picture, right? And like I said, the other video we're talking about, they're talking about intertwining, connecting all of these movies. This could be the setup for our next Luke. Put a big dark target on his back. And fans noticed during the title reveal at Celebration, there was actually a little lightsaber hum audio cue when the logo was shown. That automatically made everybody think a Jedi or lightsaber would factor in. Now, we're thinking maybe it's the kid who could have the Jedi potential. Gosling's character might be a more ordinary hero, ex-soldier pilot, think Poe Dameron, think Han Solo, sworn to protect him. I mean, it sounds to me like Gosling's character probably isn't a Jedi himself. He's more likely an everyman or perhaps a skilled pilot, given the title Starfighter to the movie, who has to rise to the occasion to guard his nephew. That sounds right to me. I mean, that dynamic, non-Force user protecting Force-sensitive kid, we've seen it before. It does ring a bell. I know. I have a feeling we're going into literally the fourth trilogy style of stuff we've already done. Whatever. Let's address the elephant in the room. Star Wars, they've done the Escort the Kid a lot. Mandalorian, Mandu Grogu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben and young Leia. Even Skeleton Crew is about protecting kids. So some people are probably not going to be happy about that. It's a fair point. The leak premise does sound familiar, but I'm going to be optimistic. I like Sean Levy. I hope he puts a fresh spin on it. Maybe the movie will lean more into high adventure and starfighter dogfights to differentiate it, given the title. We'll see. I mean, the idea of combining a road trip chase across the galaxy with some starfighter battles, it has potential. I just want to go watch Star Wars on the big screen. I don't really care at this point. Now, let's talk about the villains and other character theories. I mean, 5 years after the fall of First Order, right? Few possibilities for antagonists. One theory is Imperial remnant warlords. Sounds familiar. Basically, ex-Imperial or First Order officers who were hiding out, and they could try to snatch Force-sensitive kids, perhaps to prevent the Jedi from rising again, or to use them for their own nefarious plans. I mean, Matt Smith would honestly make a great ex-Imperial commander, or perhaps a dark side cult leader. We know he can pull off sinister roles. I mean, Morbius, House of Dragons, all of that. And Mia Goth, she has the horror background. I could see her playing some creepy dark side acolyte or even an assassin. She brings that unsettling intensity, which would be good for some type of Sith cultist character, if you ask me. I mean, in fact, if you remember in Rise of Skywalker's concept phase, there were ideas about a Sith acolyte character. I mean, that may have been Matt Smith's scrapped role from that. Purely speculative, but we'll see. You guys, let me know what you think. I don't know. I'm on the fence here. I did talk about a tease in the beginning and how it could connect to the bigger Star Wars universe and all those leaks that we're getting about that too. And it's kind of true. I mean, Lucasfilm's calling this era the New Jedi Order. We know Daisy Ridley's movie is greenlit. It's being worked on. She's going to be rebuilding the Jedi Order. And we are now hearing that all of these movies will eventually tie into each other. And then we are going to culminate with some big crossover. I mean, could Daisy Ridley cameo as Rey in this movie? It's very likely. It really, really is. I mean, if they're going that route, you're going to see a lot of cameos. I mean, could Poe? You could probably definitely see Poe in this. He's a pilot. This is a pilot type movie probably. All the connections will probably be there. New Jedi Order. That's the era name. By using that branding, Lucasfilm is hinting this film is part of laying the groundwork for the resurgence of the Jedi. I don't know. We'll see. No matter what, it is clear Lucasfilm wants to move the saga forward with projects like Starfighter and the Rey film and all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, we're still kind of in the Skywalker saga. We just can't really get away from it. You guys let me know what you think. I'll keep you posted if anything new breaks, and I'll see you soon.